Good evening. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite an evening. It's at 1:38, and right away it starts off my vision by viewing 138, which is a communication with the three moons, because it is the pig, 3, 3, and 3, the pregnancy of the pig. We are on the 5th day of the first month, but on my computer it shows 0510. It is the day of I, and it is the day of ABCD, because the 0 can be replaced with the D, as well, and the 0 in time can also be replaced by the 6. So for those people looking for 622-6, they can also be looking for another number that creates the 622-6. Do I look like an Indian with a yellow spot here? I burnt my head here against the fireplace, and I burnt my head here. And I just noticed tonight that on my skull, there's like a bump here, like a Vulcan. Never noticed that. And somehow I got gray hair. You know, I'm going to show you something really weird. This is the roulette wheel. Okay? The 0 is supposed to be in green. Here's the other side. The zeros are supposed to be in green, but they're not. Can you figure out why? Because there's black, there's red, and there's white, which makes the gray. If you put a green on this, it's going to cost more money. So they don't put the green on this. Why is it split? Because there's two different wheels on here. I split it because I had no paper, nowhere to write, so I split the paper in half. What I'm going to start with right now, I'm going to just show you a little picture. You ever try to figure why there's no 4-leaf clover? Because at the bottom of the marijuana plant is a ring. Lord of the Rings, basically. You know why I say Lord of the Rings? And why the marijuana plant and all the leaves? Because if you take a look at the leaves, they're all peace signs. They're all peace signs. All peace. Why do I say Lord of the Rings? Because this is a ring. The Lord, L-O-R-D, it means the weight. It also means the gold of the light angel, L-and-D, light angel. That's the marijuana plant. I was told today by Lauren, thank you, not to say this, thus anymore, T-H-U-S. But in order for me not to say thus, I would have to say this. And now I'm just using another word, then on to. Because this, when you take this and put it backwards, it's shit. Shit and this. Thus, okay, where is the thus? I don't have it on here. But thus, okay, is actually shut, S-H-U-T instead of T-H-U-S. The other thing I came up with is this. I took these numbers here from 6226 and I reversed them anyways. I came out to 4573. 4573, 4 and 5 and 73 is, how did that work out again? 45 and 73 is 118. So I take the 11th letter, which is a K. I take the 18th letter, which is R, or A-R, as in sound. I take the 8th letter, and I put it over here, and it says fucker. Well, that's basically one of my license reversed. Okay, it says fucker. The other thing I want to say is the R and the H together say hare. A hare is a rabbit. Return of the Hobbit is because return of communication is the rabbit. Where was I going to bring you to next? This is where I'm bringing you next. So I'm not sure if it's going to show up on this screen or the next screen. So I have to look for a screen. And this is it. Okay, I got the screen up here. I'm going to make it smaller now. Smaller. Then we're going to move it over here, take my camera off, and show you. I just found this peel. Now, I've always put in 7286 over here. 93 is the highway that passes over Hoover Dam. Here's my 7286. Look what it's for. It's used for treatment of epilepsy, seizures, daily persistent headaches, hypertension, and bipolar disorder. This is the number I got, and this is the disease I got at the same time. I got both of these, and now they just put out a drug. This is Herbert Hoover, Barack Obama. This is also Hoover Dam. 39, okay, 39 is 13, 13, 13. Now if you multiply 11 by 11 by 11, it equals 1331, which is the 31st president and the 13th president. This is Herbert Hoover, and it just so happens that's the highway reversed, 93. 93 and 39 equals to 132, and that's a reverse of the 1, 2, 3. Now let me count it again. 93 and 9 is 102, and then 30 is 132. 132, if I remember, is 66 and 66 makes 132. The same number, Barack Obama, the 666 we've been looking for in the 7286, which is the spirit of 76 of time heaven, 28 days of February, the 28 days of the moon. The only reason we get the extra day is because of our communication with the soul light. Now I'm going to put this back up here. My camera. That's what happens when you work cheap, I guess. Let me see this. Okay, I look half decent there. So now that I showed you this pill came out, this is like, don't forget, I've been putting 7286 out there all the time. Somehow this popped up today, I don't know how. The other thing I'm going to talk about, okay, is like I showed you in the book, 11, 11, 11 equals 1331. If you double this, or reverse this, put this 13 on this side, it would say 3, 1, 1, 3. Or if you want, double it up, it's 26, it's 62, 26, a universal number. Now what's funny about that universal number is that if you go to the Monopoly board now, and you go 30 spaces of creation, okay, I'm going to explain that to you later, it's the 31st position is go to jail. But if you go from go to the right, and you go from go to the left, and you go to the 31st position, you will be on visiting jail and go to jail. And that answers your question for 622-6, because each man gets 2 avatars to play in Monopoly. One goes left, one goes right. That's why you have to make them different and not the same. There's 2 players in the game, so when you do the 2 players going left and right, you end up with a total of 622-6. 622-6 can also say from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., which is 2,200 hours, to 6 a.m. You have 24 hours. The other thing I'm going to mention, I'm going to see if I have it on here. Another thing I wanted to mention is everybody talks about the 144,000 midway angels. And if we multiply 12 o'clock by 12 o'clock, we come up to 1.44 million, but forget about the first decimal because that's you. Remove 1 0 because that's you. So it would be sort of like 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, but it would be 12:59. But no, it doesn't work that way. It just works to a maximum and remove or add 1 0. Because you're always going to remove or add, or it's going to be right on. But you're always going to fall in, when you remove and add, you're always going to fall into a scenario where, how can I mention this? The reason, like if you were doing the days of the week, if it was the weekday, you're going to be plus or minus 2. And the reason for that is because Wednesday to Monday is 2 and Wednesday to Friday is 2. Don't count the Wednesday, split it in half. The other thing I wanted to show you is somebody asked me about 1776. When you take 1776 and put it forward and backwards, you end up with 7557. And what's funny about that is that if I would just put a dividing 0 in the middle, okay, besides 75 and 57 equaling also, 75 and 50 is 125, and 7 is 132. It's the same number I spoke about 2 seconds ago. 66 plus 66 is 132. And I'm not quite sure which number I mentioned, but if you look back in the video, you'll be able to pick up the third number that comes out to that. 5775 is actually a part that's on this roulette wheel in 4 numbers on this side and 4 numbers on this side. And they're stated when you go play roulette as orphelin and orphelin. And it's even on the electronic roulette wheel stated right there on the board when you look at it. Now, at the same time we talk about that, I'm going to show you this dice. This dice, the Hebrew New Year, in 2 years is 5,775. Why is it not the year 6,000? Because it took the quarter of a light, just put the quarter of a light back onto it, counting for 25 or 26 years and equaling to 6,000 or 6,001. Okay, now this is the way it works. Okay, we're going to leave 6 and 1 out of it for now. We're going to turn it to the side. When you see the 2, when you turn around the dice, the 5, do you notice how the dots on the 2 go right into the 5 and you do not see a difference? Therefore, we'll say the side is 5. On the 4 dice, we'll turn it around and the opposition is the 3. The only dot that would show up, it would be the 5. So now we have 4 sides, they're all 5s. When you turn them around and you add them to each other. If you put the 5 where the 2 is, you'd see 5. If you put the 3 where the 4 is, you'll see 5. If you just put the 4 where the 3 is, you'll see 5. 4 5s are 20. Now we'll look at the top 6. We'll look at the bottom 1. 2007. And then if you put the 6 over the 1 or the 1 over the 6, you'll get 2014. Now, I'm going to show you something else. We have, again, we're going to do the same thing. The 4 over the 3, not the 6, it's on the wrong side. 6 is supposed to be up. 3 over the 4, 2 over the 5. You have 5 on one side total, and you have 5 on the other side total. 6 and 1 is 7. And 1 and 6 is 7. So we have 5, 5, and 7, 7, or 57, 75. And that's in 2 years, the same as 2014. So I was able to work out 2014 as a maximum on this dice, as well as 57, 75, and that is the year in 2 years. This dice ends in October. Why is it October? Because 6, okay, and 4, there is no other number you can use. You cannot use the 1 because there is no extra dot. Understand? There's no dot on the 4, and there's no dot on the 6. Why the 4? Because Mars and Earth connect together. 6 is man. So that shows you 5775. And again, when we flipped over, like I showed you, 1776 and then 677.1 also adds up to the same thing. Why does it add up? Because in the 7 or 10 world, 7 plus 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5. 7 and 7 is 14, 1 and 4 is 5, 6 and 1 is 7 at one end, 6 and 1 is 7 at the other end. Now what that actually does is that in the year of 5775 or 2014, in that Jewish year, there will have passed 75,075 moons would have passed. Don't count the leap year because that's all about the time of your head. Don't forget, we move, okay? We have to make the move. 1, 2, 3, and 4 to reconnect, or 3. It'd be 3 and 1 to reconnect, and 3 again, and 1 to reconnect, and 3 again. 3, 1, 1, 3, 3, 1, 11 times 11 times 11 is 1331. Back to 13, the 13 presidents after Herbert Hoover is actually Barack Obama, and the 31st president was Herbert Hoover. The pill that I showed you, okay, shows up to that 93. That's Hoover Dam that I've been talking about. Now this January 10th will be the first month of the 10th day. The number of floors there were on the Twin Towers, or the first month, and the 11th day would be 1, 1, and 1. Actually, that's my parking spot. And I'm also 1303 is my address. Well, it's not my exact address, but the numbers that are pertinent within it. So we all know marijuana, here's the ring. Lord of the Rings. The 4-leaf clover, my friend. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 for 1. There's your 4-leaf clover. Where do I want to go next? Let's talk about stars. The 5-point star, if it was divided up equally, would have exactly 72 times 5 is 360 degrees around. The 5-point star, the only reason that we would have the extra days is because it opens in the center and the energy of light passes through there, giving us the extra 5.25 days, in which is calculated as like they do in blackjack and is a representation of Valentine's and love, which is 15 or 1.5. The value is 0. The 15th letter is actually 15. 1.5 and 1.5 is 3. 1.5 times 1.5 is 2.25. Add them together, 5.25, and you have, voila, plus 360, 365.25 days. The other thing I wanted to show you in the roulette wheel is, if I can find it, I hope I don't lose it, is here. You cannot start off at the beginning. Where's the 0? Here's the beginning, okay, 26. 6, 22, 6, 0, around to 15 to 0. 26 and 15, that's the Mediterranean, 41. It's also Valentine's in October. But we're starting here from the second shore. 35 and 28 is 63. That's the year I was born. 63 and 29 is 92. And look at that, 92, and you have the 29, which makes 121 or 1111. Okay, 29 and 63, 73, 83, 92. 92, 102, 112, 114. 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, 114, the pig's pregnancy, the connection of the moons. Don't forget, you can't be 20 on Sugar Mountain because it's all about the man on the moon, which is your spirit connect through the moon cycles. Now, I'm not quite sure how it works. We work within the planet and outside the planet. What else is there next? In Monopoly, I'm assuming that Atlantic City and the Mediterranean have already been counted for when you start from go. Boardwalk, Park Place is Atlantic City, taken over by who? I'm going to just say the X-Men. That's one 9/11 corner. You go to the next 9/11 corner, it's St. Charles, which is Prince Andrews. Okay? And is that what it is, Prince Andrews? Well, I always call him Prince Charles. I don't know why. Is it Andrew Charles? Or anyways, that's who it's the Queen, and he's been bugging, okay, the Queen, his mother, or however that works, that he wants the throne. And all of a sudden that I see the newspaper print online, lo and behold, go after that, the other part of the 9/11 corner, which is sitting next to visiting jail, is Connecticut. The next one is Kentucky and New York, and we know what happened in New York. Don't forget about Kentucky, it's about their horses, okay? And the horses, number 1 is red, and so is Kentucky red. Funny about that. Now, the corner I couldn't figure out for the longest time was Ventnor, which that happens to be the northern winds and the northern star. But when you get closer to waterworks, we're talking about the Great Lakes and the electricity. But then we get one more over to Marvin Gardens, and Marvin's a place we all want to pray for when we buy our chickens in Montreal to get kosher chickens. Marvin Gardens is on the other corner, right around. It's go to jail, and on the other side, it's Pacific. So I'm assuming it's specifically California, and Marvin Gardens is all about the weed they're allowed to smoke out there. Isn't it funny the way it's divided up? Marvin Gardens, go to jail, and Pacific. So that's how we divide up that board. The other thing I want to talk about is the letter E. Although the letter E is the 5th letter, it also looks like a 3 if it was turned the other way. We can say 5 and 3 is 8, so now we have a connecting heaven. 53 and 35 reverse, again, is 88. Herbert Hoover, Hoover Dam. Now if we take the small e, which has to do with leave me alone in peace, okay, which means pay, or pay us, in the Hebrew language. Okay, at the same time, the small e and the big E looks like a 3 and a 5, and the big E Looks like a 9 if you turn it the other way. But it's the 5th letter. 5 and 9 are E-I-E-I-O. So when you put two E's together, you got E-I-E-I-O. 59 minutes, 59 seconds. Now, if we take the word pi, okay, forget about the pi. It's 1695. In which, I'm not even going to get into that part because I wasn't prepared, but I wanted to show you the other thing about pi. Okay? 14 and 15, 29. 2 and 9, 11. 2 and 9 again, 11. 6 and 5, 11. 29, gematria, black. 65, white. 3 by 14, 3 by 15, 3 by 92, and 3 by 65 equals to 42, which means 5 and 9 again. It's a representation of 5 and 9. 3 by 15 is 45, and it is the angle. 3 by 92, anyways, let me read it this way. It's easy. 3 by 14, 4 and 2 is 6. 3 by 15 is 45. 4 and 5 is 9. 3 by 92 is 276, the spirit of 76, equals to 152, which is actually part of the Mayans, but 2 plus 7 plus 6 equals to 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 1, 9, and 5. 3 times 65 is 195. And that's the Aleph, Hebrew letter, the leg, that's solid, and not the add-ons. Do you understand where I'm coming from? And you know what's funny? I asked a friend of mine, I said, I want to start learning Greek. I figure I can learn between 3 and 5 Greek letters a week. By the end of the year, I would know 250 words. But in Greek, if, and but, if I remember correctly, it's as, or as, or ace. And, or D and A, is that story. The second part, and, is K-E, K, like the letter K. And then but is Allah, like the Allah God, if and or but. As, K, Allah, if and or but. So anyways, we did this little scenario here. Another thing I wanted to show you is that if I removed 1776 from 5775, I end up with 3.999. And like I said, the next time we run into the year of 2013, which is in 3012, we'll leave 999 years. But 3 by 99, 999, equals to 2,997. 299 or 99.7. And if you keep multiplying it, okay, it would total out to a value of 30 at the end. 9 plus 9 plus 9 is 27, plus 3 is 30. 3 times 0 is the angle of 45, which in all actuality, Barack Obama could have been the 45th president, or the last angle, because the clock won't move. You see, I messed this part up. The clock won't move. How can I explain this? When a clock moves, like I was talking about the 72 and the 5-point star, well, what actually happens is there's 12 5-minute points in an hour. You always must remove the minute before and the minute after. Because it touches that minute, it becomes part of that minute, the before and after effect. Just like they have in the Wheel of Fortune. Otherwise, they wouldn't have that game, and it wouldn't tell me about it. So what happens now is because you have 12 of them, and you have befores and after, you end up taking away 36 parts of the clock, and you'd be left with 24 minutes or 24 hours. Or you would take off 36 parts, okay, of 72, and it would leave you with half. That was confusing. I don't understand myself. Must have made a mistake somewhere. The other thing I'd like to say is that the next time we're going to actually reach 2013 with using the same 0, 1, 2, 3 is in 2031. That's 18 years later. It's all about half and half, 18 and 18, which is the roulette board. When it happens again in the year 3000, it'll be 33,102 the year, or 3012 it'll happen, which is 999 years later. Take away 18 is 981. 9 times 9 equals the 81. But once you pass the year 3210, you will never ever again, under 10,000 or ever in our lifetime, will you ever get having 0, 1, 2, 3 ever again. So something has to happen with the clock. Another thing I wanted to talk about is my parking spot. If I go to the left and I go to the right, it totals out to 333, my parking spot left and right of me, and that happens to be 114 days, the pig's pregnancy, which is on roulette at number 22, I think it's 29, 28, and 35. 29 and 28, the month of February. 22 is bust in blackjack, and 35 is the egg. Why is 35 the egg? 3553 equals 88. Because what happens in the 10 worlds, when you bring everything back to 5775, the 5 gets a 5, the 7 gets a 3, the 7 gets a 3, and the last one gets a 5. And if you reverse them, it makes it 88 again. The 10 world, the 7 worlds, the 13 world. Those are the basics, okay? Then you start, it's like building a car. You know what I'm saying? First you need the frame, then you need the body, and now you can start playing with this motor or that motor. You know, but a body's a body. It doesn't matter what it looks like, it's going to be a body, but the motor is completely different. Let's see what else I have in here. Oh yes, the word 6. My computer just conked out on me. The word 6, do I have it in here? Where is it? Yes, here. See the word 6? The 19th letter, 19. And look at this. It's a 1 and an X. Automatically, it's a 9. If you flip it upside down into a 10-10 world, 9 to 1 is 1 to 9 is the 10. 9 to 1 is the 10. 9 is the 1. We have 11, 9. The number 6. In pool. In pool, the 1 ball is yellow, the 2 ball is blue, and the 3 ball is red. 1, 2, 3 equals 6. Now, you have to understand we have to do color mixing now. In order to make the black, it's a mixture of red, blue, and yellow. Is that not correct? Am I correct with that? At the same time, the red ball is also the 11, the blue ball is also the 10, and the yellow ball is also the 9. If you add them all together, it's 36. The reason for that is the 2 sides of 18, resh and resh, in the English language. You see, they didn't know, and nobody knew about the computers existing in our own mind. Okay? Was it a computer that created all this, bringing everything back to the English language because they knew the end of times would be in English? If we add the bottom part, it's 30 of creation. We add the top part, it's 36. Together again, 66. Let me go on to the last page. I did most of this now. Now, in Monopoly, if you take those 4 men I was talking about earlier, and you start at go and you go back to go, that would be 1 to start and 40 around is 41, 41, 41 equals 1, 2, 3. Straightforward. Not 66, 66, which is 1, 3, 2 plus the other one I've done before. Go to go. The same time, if you go from go and you use just 1 man, it's 1 to start, and then every other one would be 40. So 41 plus 40 plus 40 is 121, or 11 times 11 is 121. Another thing I was going to mention is the Twin Towers. Can you see it on here? Where is it? Here's the numbers. 15, let me find it on the wheel. Wow. Here. 15. I'm using the same thing, watch. 15, 19, 20, 21, 38, 44, 57, 68, 76. 86. That's my 86. 96, 106, 110. 110 floors on the Twin Towers, starting off with 86, plus time, 10, 24, 10 and 4, 10 and 6, 10 and, oh, that's it. Then, over here, okay, is 33, is 143, which is the Baltic, the connection of the totality. 1 plus 3 plus 4 equals to 8. And that's the one spirit connecting to the Baltic. If I add on another 20 here, I didn't even calculate. I'm not into that one yet. There's just so many things I'm finding on here that this is. I hope this video works out because there's just too much. Here I was showing you at 57, 75, 35, 35. 7 by 5 is 35. 7 by 5 is 35. 7 and 3 is 10. 5 and 5 is 10. 7 and 5 is 10. 7 and 3 is 10. 5 and 5 is 10. 5 and 5 is 10. 7 and 3 is 10. 7 by 5 is 35. 7 by 5 is 35. Now, if you go back to the beginning, if you have a good memory, it also works out to 1776 that I was showing you over here. I added it together. Comes out to the same thing. Comes out to the same thing. And at the same time, 2 and 35 is 37. Wrong side of the wheel, I think. Let me see this. I'm not sure if I have this right. 26 and 11, 37. 20 and 17, 37. 22 and 15, 37. 111. The top story of the Twin Towers. Anyways, before I end it, one of the reasons I think the Twin Towers went down is they broke one of the major rules. Their antenna was too high. If I understand it right, it was the number 29. The height of the towers, which is the berth. It's owned by somebody else. Just like 45 is owned by somebody else, and that's why there is no 45-45 in tennis. Back to the piano, 88 keys, 52 and 36. Do I have to say any more? Raphael, 7286 on the constellation of Pegasus. And to remind you one more time that the new bipolar pill, that's the numbers. Look what's up. You see what's up? Look at my ceiling. I painted my ceiling. Now that that's done, Raphael, 7286 on the constellation of Pegasus, under Andromeda, stuck out in Baffin Islands. I thank you for watching.